you really love me or you're really interested in this topic if you've sat through three videos and you're now on to part 4. So part 4 is the end, or we're nearing the end maybe. So again, I defended my dissertation on July the 30th. Those 2 months before I defended, from May to July, were the most stressful of months because I still had chapters to write. I still had things that weren't written. So remember my prelim, it's the first 3 chapters, chapters 1, 2, and 3. Well, I did a qualitative exam, a qualitative study, and the methodology that I had set up for how I was going to analyze and was a lot. I overshot, but I was interested and was curious. I overshot. So in May, and I'm still working full time, having to use my PTO to take time off and do things. So I still had chapters to write. I was still technically kind of writing up until like 4th of July of this year. So one of the things you have to do about 2 to 4 weeks before you defend your dissertation. And mind you, have to schedule your dissertation in advance because you have to make sure that all of your committee members are available on that date. So I scheduled my defense date in the spring semester, even before I was finished. And so here's a life lesson that will help too, is that you have to, even if you're not finished, even if you're in the process of something, you have to give it an end date and have people on board to hold you accountable for it being done on that date. You have to have that. It's a life lesson. Even if you're not finished. Because what the date also gives you, it gives you accountability. It gives you something to look forward to. It gives you, if you're a checkbox person like me, something you can check off the box. So, anyway, so mind you, I had to get my date approved in advance. I'm still writing in July. Everybody's out having summer fun, kicking it. I'm not. I'm still on my grind. And I think I submitted it after my editor had sent things. Jory and I met. So Jory was my person here in Atlanta who really took the reins on my dissertation. Again, I couldn't have done it without her. And then you also have to present. So your doctoral defense, for my program anyway, is about a 20-minute presentation of your work. And you have to be prepared for them to ask questions after your defense, for there to be discussion. So not only did I have to write the thing, but now I have to put together a presentation. And I don't mind doing presentations. I don't mind it, like but this one in particular, I felt like hinged on a lot, and I didn't know what I was doing. It really is. I didn't know what I was doing. Even though I had like templates of others people's like defense presentations, I still was like, I don't know like how to make all this information come together so that I'm communicating it effectively and demonstrating to my committee that I'm an expert in my topic, that I know what I'm talking about. Like, what am I doing? But God and my good friend Dr. Hall, Dr. Jory Ian Hall, the Saturday before I was so supposed to defend, she called and was like, are you okay? Do you need anything? And I was like, I just don't know what I'm doing. And so she just, in about maybe 5 or 10 minutes, was like, all you gotta do is whatever she said. I don't even know at the time. And I was like, yes, that's all I gotta do. And I like totally redid my presentation. I totally redid it. That Sunday, my mom and I flew out to Champaign. And because I didn't want to be stressed, I didn't want to fly into Chicago or Indianapolis or St. Louis and drive into Champaign. I wanted to fly straight into Champaign. Well, that day we had delay after delay, like flying into Champaign, and I was like, Champaign is a very small airport, so if I miss this flight, I won't get in until tomorrow, right before I'm supposed to defend. And like, I need to get my mind right. I need to rest. I need to, like, get focused. And it was like everything was happening that day. And this was in the summer. I don't know what was going on, but there was like delays. We had sat in the O'Hare airport for hours before we got on our plane. And the flight from O'Hare to Champaign is like 45 minutes. If that, it might be 30 minutes. And I was like, we've been in this airport for hours for this 30-minute flight. But God got to Champaign safely. And that morning, I wasn't nervous. And I don't know, it could have been because at that point, there was nothing else I could do. So I wasn't nervous, and I prayed, and it went well, clearly. I'm not going to go into all the details about what happened that day, but it went well. And I was in a room full of supportive people that I admire and I look up to. Dr. Green, Dr. Span, Dr. Trent, Dr. Hall, my mom, and I felt like I can do this. Like, I did it, and it's okay. And so at the end, they send you out of the room, your committee does, so they can discuss if you've passed or if you need to make revisions, or they discuss things. I don't actually know because I've never been in that room. But then they come out and they get you to bring you back in the room to share with you your results. So I'm used to the results being shared inside of the room. So when Dr. Trent comes out to bring me back in, he announces me as Dr. Walker. And I was like, what? Like, what? Like, and I was like, okay, calm yourself. Center yourself. Don't get too excited. He was like, Dr. Walker. And my mom immediately starts to cry. And I had to be like, Mom, okay, let's pull it together. You got to pull it together. Okay. So then I walked into the room, and I think I actually posted already. Maybe I'll link that somewhere too, that video if you want to see what happened. So we leave Champaign, right? And I leave Champaign like, I'm Dr. Walker. Yay, right? And everybody's so excited for me. Those that love me, let's be clear. Those that love me are excited for me. Catch that if you want to. So afterward, I didn't know how I was going to feel. Like, I was like, am I going to be excited? Am I going to cry? Because I am a crier. Am I going to, like, what is going to happen to me? I really just want to sleep. I told you what my life had been like leading up to that. But interestingly, what I felt actually was shame. And I felt shame. I was going to say guilt, but I didn't feel guilty. I really felt shame and disappointment and fatigued and beaten and bruised, and I didn't feel like celebrating. I felt also like an imposter. Like, I had the strangest feelings once I was finished, and I didn't want to celebrate. It took me a minute to even post that I finished after I actually did, because I just felt disappointed in myself that it took me so long to get it done, that I'd incurred debt doing it. I felt like not joy. So I just did not feel joy, and I couldn't put the emotions or the feelings to it, but I didn't feel hopeful. I didn't feel great afterward. And when people would start calling me doctor, it felt so like, are they talking to me? Are they talking about me? Like, this was the strangest feeling that I've ever felt in my life. And I'm actually also seeing a therapist, just to be open and honest about that, because we all have to have a third party sometimes that we need to talk to get us through those hangups that we have in our lives that are preventing us from getting to the next step in our life. And so I'm talking to her. I'm like so tired and needing to be in recovery. But I went right back to work. Like, don't do that either. Like, after you do something major, take a week at least and like decompress. And I did not do that. I did not take time for me. Like, I jumped right back into it, and so I never even really processed like my feelings about it. But I felt just the only word I could do was shameful, because this was something that should have been done 7 years ago at least, and now you're doing it. And it was like a lot of negative self-talk, and as we all know, negative self-talk is not productive. And my friends were like, well, when we gonna celebrate? Where's the party? What we doing? And I was just like, we not doing nothing. Like, I was like, I'm tired, and I'm having all these feelings that I don't know how to process, and I don't want to celebrate. I don't feel like celebrating. I don't know. I don't know what happened to me, but at the beginning, on December 1st, 2018, I had a breakthrough about how I was feeling. And what it was at the time, I was laying there watching a YouTube video. I've been in a LeBron phase, but I don't think that's what I was watching. And I was like, you know what? You are behaving like a brat. And your behavior about accomplishing this is dishonoring God, because you are not sharing your story. You are not sharing your faith. You are not sharing all the things that God got you through. God is the one who told you you could do this, and you did it. And so by you not sharing, and by you holding it in, and by you feeling less than, by you feeling all this negative stuff, you are not giving God the proper glory and honor he deserves for getting you through this. So pull yourself together, ma'am. Like, it just came. It was like, pull yourself together, ma'am. Because guess what? This also is not just about you. It's somebody out here who is also going through something, and they don't think they can make it through, but you made it through, and this is how you made it through. So if you don't share your story, if you don't share with somebody else how you can make it through when you don't think you can, how you can get over something, how you can have a goal and through the whole time have negative things come against you, but at the same time you holding true to your faith and the core of what you know you believe and you can do. If you don't get up, girl, and get yourself together. And it was like, you're right. And what I had to do, I had to pray, and it was like, Lord, I thank you for this. I thank you for everything, and forgive me for being a brat and for not honoring you through this process at this end, for not giving you the honor and the glory that you deserve for getting me through. Forgive me for holding on to something that could help somebody else, that it might not even be about me. Forgive me for being selfish and wallowing in self-pity when I've accomplished something great, and it's a privilege to accomplish, and you use me to do it. Get up. It was like, it's like, get up. And I got up, and from that day, I have felt like celebrating. I am proud of my accomplishments. I'm proud of what I've done. I'm proud that God chose me to do it through. I pray that whatever I do, because I don't know what's next for me, but I pray that whatever I do, that in it, I continue to give God the glory, the honor, the praise, and all that he deserves. I pray that just like those girls the women in my research who had mentors in order to persist, that he would use me as a mentor for other people on how they can persist and how they can get through something that they are purposed and destined to do. And again, all of this started with a little mustard seed of faith. So that's my mustard seed of faith story. And maybe I'll do some more, because this is just the beginning. It's just the beginning. So thank you for watching.